What's going on, y'all? Woo, welcome to yet another video. With this video focusing on a day at Meps and what to expect. So buckle up, Buttercup. It's about to get real. Here we go! What's up, everybody? Welcome back here to Team SWARTZ. And if this is your first time here, welcome to my channel. Here I post a ton of Army basic training tips, recruiting, and other Army-related videos, to include going live weekly, typically on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And with that being said, my name is Lewis, your local New York Army National Guard's full-time recruiter and part-time drill sergeant with our Recruit Sustainment Program. With that being said, let's get started. Let's get into what is Meps. Meps is your military entrance processing station where you will conduct your testing, your medical exams, other processes, your oath of enlistment ceremony, which is that pretty awesome room with the red carpet and the beautiful flags and all that stuff. Very nice, very beautiful, very nice. And for many of you, you will also ship out to Army basic training through your Meps. So that being said, what is your dress code? And some of the things that I will be expressing through this dress code is specific to the Fort Hamilton Meps, but it's a good rule of thumb to follow through with any other Meps that you will be processing through. So with that being said, for males and females, I recommend that you wear a t-shirt with a polo shirt or a button-down shirt, and either khakis or jeans, preferably jeans that do not have any rips, holes or tears or anything like that. Like, I know you could buy them like that from the manufacturer. I get it. Back in my day when I grew up, you get made fun of for having any type of blemishes on your jeans, but I digress. Again, no rips, tears, or holes, and no sports clothing, meaning that you cannot wear like wind pants, joggers, basketball shorts, what have you, right? No sports clothing at all from the waist down. Now, for the feet, female, no high heels, no flats, no flip-flops, no what have you, right? It cannot be any open-toed shoes to include the male. So it's got to either be semi-casual shoes, dress shoes, or sneakers, like running sneakers or what have you, right? No open-toed shoes. Now, when it comes to jewelry, nobody is authorized to wear jewelry at Meps. Take it off, all right? No nail polish for the females, right? Clear coats for the fellas too, right? No nail polish on your nails at the time of doing your medical exam. Make sure that you are clean, right? I know it doesn't need to be said, but it happens from time to time because you can get kicked out, placed on an N status, meaning you cannot process at Meps for a specific amount of time. So if you have an extreme body odor, meaning that you didn't use deodorant, possibly borderline didn't, take a shower, you could be kicked out of Meps. And yeah, you don't want that to happen. So make sure that you at the very least smell clean, all right? You don't have to be wearing like perfume or nothing, but just make sure you don't smell like body odor. So that's pretty much the dress code. Now, when it comes to sweaters, make sure that you're not wearing a hoodie, right? For some reason, our Meps is prejudice against hoods. So make sure that it's of a crew neck style sweatshirt or t-shirt or sweater. No hoodies. And for females, no Spanx, jeggings, tights of any, no tight revealing clothing, right? Jeans or khakis, just keep it at that, all right? For the medical exam, make sure that you're wearing a normal full coverage bra and full granny panties, right? Full coverage panties, normal panties, right? None of these thongs, G-strings, crazy looking stripper club wannabe type underwear, all right? You're not there to impress anyone. Full coverage underwear, males, fellas. No sports compression shorts. Boxer briefs are fine, or regular boxers, but it must have a hole on the front so you can pull out little old Willie so that you can conduct your drug and alcohol test by when they conduct the urinalysis. That's pretty much, oh, and make sure you're wearing socks. Make sure you're wearing socks. And I suggest that you wear a sweater or sweatshirt when processing because the medical floor and the testing site is extremely cold. So that pretty much now covers up the dress code. So, not in this particular order, but what to expect at a day at Meps is going to vary from site to site, maybe even day of the week, who knows? Depends on what's going on. But typically, you will either arrive by your recruiter or by bus from the hotel, and you will go inside and they will check you in, give you a sticker to put on your upper left-hand chest. And then from there, you're gonna go into a room where you will receive a briefing from the Meps personnel, typically the commander in some cases, and they will give you the do's and don'ts and whatnot, and they'll give you some forms to fill out. Whatever those forms is must match what we submitted as your recruiter to Meps for the medical exam. If anything is different, you're going to get kicked out of Meps and then source those medical documents. The burden of proof is on the applicant. So whatever you disclose that you did not originally disclose at the time that the recruiter scheduled you, then you're gonna stop processing and you will not continue the process that day until everything has been rectified and updated. So with that being said, from there, once you get past the briefing, filling out those medical forms and all that good stuff, you will go up to the medical floor and begin the process. Again, not in this particular order, but these are the things that you will expect. At some point, you will conduct your height and weight. You will get down to your skivvies, your underwear. You will step on the scale. They will weigh you, and they'll check your height. If your height and weight it exceeds the maximum standards for your age or gender to include the minimum standards, from there, get taped, right? For the females, you're gonna get taped on the neck, the smallest part of your waist, and the widest part of your hips. Fellas, you'll get taped on your neck and from the navel parallel to the ground all the way around, and it must equate to no more than the maximum allowable body fat regardless of your height and weight. So that's the height and weight portion. From there, you will do the drug and alcohol test between the urinalysis and the breathalyzer. The breathalyzer obviously tests for the alcohol, and the urinalysis for other drugs that one would take either through illegal drugs or controlled substances that are considered narcotics. So if you are under the influence or recently have done drugs, do not go down the Meps to conduct your medical exam. All right, wait until you are clean and then go. Additionally, you're gonna feel pressure, right? So don't get performance anxiety, because the test proctor, while you do your urinalysis, is literally going to watch you pee in the cup. They don't trust you, they don't care about you. They need to make sure that you are in fact peeing in the cup and that you're not using any other illegal methods to put somebody else's clean pee or urine into your specimen cup. So do not get performance anxiety. If you fail to conduct and complete your urinalysis by 1300, that's 1 p.m. for you civilians, then you will be marked as a test failure and you will be listed as a DAT positive for pre-accession Meps drug test, which means currently, right now, after 6 months, you could come back with an approved waiver. 6 months from now, that might not be an option for you. So do all the studying that you need and do not go down there until you are clean. Do not do it to yourself. It is not worth it. And you don't want it on your record that you failed the drug test, all right? So the next exam would be your vision and color vision test. So what that entails is if you wear glasses, whether you're near or farsighted, bring your glasses with you. Do not wear contacts. You need to do it in your glasses. If you don't have any glasses, then bring your contacts and hope and pray to God that they allow you to wear them. Otherwise, I don't know what to tell you. But you're gonna look into a machine. In most locations, you'll look into a machine which is equivalent to standing 10 feet away from the eye chart. You'll read the lowest line possible with your glasses, cover each eye, lowest line possible, remove your glasses, and repeat the same process. For the color vision test, it's going to be a bunch of dots, right? And you have to see if there's a letter, a number, or a shape, and you tell the tester what you see. If you're like me and you're red-green colorblind, you are not gonna see 99% of those dots. And when you get all the way to the end, whatever you say, whatever the shape or number or what have you is there, will determine that you are red-green colorblind. Or let's say you are black and white colorblind, right? Like fully colorblind. I call it a color deficiency. I still see reds and greens, but they are the bright colors. The dull colors, can't tell you what they are, man. I failed the color test. It was like right around the time we found out that we were gonna be switching from the digital uniforms, the digital fatigues, to the OCPs. I did not know that the ACUs, the digital pattern, had green in it. Yeah, I'm that colorblind. Yeah, so I thought it was like light khaki looking color to a light gray to a dark gray. But yeah, you gotta love my color deficiency. The next test to expect is your hearing exam. You're gonna go into a room with up to 20 applicants at a time. You're gonna put on these big old Mickey Mouse headphones, and you're gonna have a clicker. And every time you hear a tone or a beep, whether it's a high pitch, low pitch, beep or tone, hit that clicker. Even if you think you heard something, hit the clicker. It's probably not your mind playing tricks on you. You probably did hear it, so hit the clicker. And don't move around, because when you move around, you'll see what I mean when you get there. That cord that goes into the headphones, you hear it wiggling around. Control your breathing. Nice, shallow breaths. You want to make sure you're able to hear everything. Now, if you're hard of hearing, or you're known to be hard of hearing, what I would recommend is sleep with earplugs in and don't take them off until you get into Meps. That way your ears are more sensitive to the sound around you, so by the time you go take the hearing exam, your ears would be able to be in a better position to hear everything. Also, if you're somebody that typically listens to loud music or works in a loud environment, try for a day or two prior to, maybe even 3 to 4 days, preferably, no loud sounds, like no prolonged loud music or work environment if possible. That way you can increase the success rate of you passing that hearing test if you have hearing issues. Also, clean out your ears. Get them professionally done if you can, right? If you have the insurance or you have the money to do it, go get them professionally flushed. Now that we're getting to the cooler months, right? Because it's at the time of this recording, we're in November. Mid-November, it gets dry and cooler outside, making your earwax harder and more compacted. Which leads me into when you're taking a shower the night before, let the water run into your ear for 5 to 10 minutes, switch to the other side, use a washcloth, damp it like this. Do not put any Q-tips in there. You're allowed to have as much earwax as you want, as long as the doctor, when they go in there later on, can see the 3 bones and your eardrum. If your earwax is hard and compacted and they can't see those 3 things, they're gonna either, if you're lucky, conduct the ear lavage right there on the spot and then recheck, and then you're good to go, as long as otherwise good. But if not, then you're gonna have to get that done professionally on your own time, and this is prolonging your process. Additionally, again, if you have a hearing issue, getting your ears professionally cleaned will help with your hearing exam, if you're hard of hearing. You will also get blood work, and if you're doing the over 40 medical, there's like an additional vial or 2 of blood. So you will receive between 1 to 3 vials of blood that you'll have to give. So, you know, if you have any adverse reactions to needles, get your minds right, because they're gonna stick you at least once. So this next part will be conducted with all males and all females. You'll go into this big open room where you will conduct a series of exams dealing with like coordination, flexibility, stretching exercises, so on and so forth, which will consist of, but not limited to, like balancing techniques, where you'll lift one leg out in front of you, out to the side, checking for your balance, your arms out to your side, touch your shoulders, reach for the ceiling, reach for your toes, right? You'll hold your hands out in front of you like this, open and close your hands like so. Right? You may rotate your wrists like this, or just might go side to side or up and down, right? They're looking for full range of motion, full mobility with 0 restrictions. If you have double jointed elbows, they'll be looking for that too, and be asking if you have any pain, in which hopefully you're not in pain, but you'll express that obviously. They're also checking for flat feet, right? If you have pancake feet, right? You gotta have preferably some sort of arch, but yeah, so they may recommend a medical waiver if you have like pancake for feet, right? They'll also watch you walk to see if you have a normal step, an outward step, a pigeon-toed step. They're also looking to see or watch you walk on your heels, walk on your toes. They're also gonna have you squat down to your knees, right? And then lean back and stand up simultaneously, not lifting up one foot and then the other. The other thing too, the duck walk, right? You're gonna squat down as low as possible. Your hands can be interlocked like this or like this behind your head. Just can't be touching your knees or bracing yourself on anything else. And you have to walk heel to toe to the other side of the room, roughly 5 paces, turn around, come back. You also like turn your head left, right, up, down, rotate, right? You'll look left, you'll look left, you look right, look up, look down, roll around with your eyeballs, right? Like, it's a very thorough mobility, coordination, balance type exam. They'll have you reach for your toes as previously described. They'll also have you lift your knee up and like kick straight down with your heel out like this without hitting the ground, of course, but they want to see you kick and kick on both sides, right? So like I said, it's a very thorough exam. From there, individually, you'll go into the room with the doctor, and the doctor is going to take those 3 forms, the one that we submitted and the 2 forms that they had you fill out and complete in the morning before you started your process. That doctor is going to ask you every single one of those questions, and your response needs to be the same exact thing that you annotated on the forms. Have that conversation, have that dialogue with your recruiter. Make sure that you are being accurate on the paperwork, because if anything deviates, the burden of proof is on the applicant, and you will be permanently disqualified until that proof, that evidence, that medical evidence or documentation has been provided and reviewed and decided from there by the CMO, your chief medical officer, the doctor. So typically, No responses means that you still have new opportunities. Yes responses mean, as previously described, your enlistment stops. Medical documentation is on you, regardless of you signing that HIPAA form, right? There's too many doctors, clinics, so on and so forth to find your information. So the burden of proof is on the applicant. So once your doctor asks you all those questions, from there, your doctor is going to do an overview of your body, looking for scars, deformities, anything out of the ordinary, any abnormality. You're going to hunch over like this. They're going to check your spine to see if you have scoliosis, meaning curvature of your spine. They're going to see if one shoulder is higher than the other, right? Males, they're going to do a visual of your rectum. So spread them cheeks, all right? The doctor may grab your sack, right? Tell you to turn your head and cough, checking your prostate. Females, you will get a pelvic exam, a visual pelvic exam. They will not be going up in there like swimwear, but they will do a visual pelvic exam with a third party present if it is a male doctor. So with that being said, they'll also be looking for scars, tattoos, branding, so on and so forth. They'll take the stethoscope, listen to you breathe in, around your chest, your abdomen, your back, right? They're going to take that light, like I said earlier, and look inside your ear. They need to be able to see those 3 bones in your eardrum or the ear membrane. Everything needs to look good. If it's got history of or scarring for like perforations or blowing out eardrums or what have you, that could also get you disqualified, right? They're going to look down your throat, make you go, ah, right? They're gonna look at your eyes with the light, make sure your eyes dilate properly. They're gonna ask you all kinds of different questions and question anything out of the ordinary. You got a scar in your body, you better have a logical explanation. If the doctor sees a scar in your body and it looks like it was due to self-mutilation, like maybe you were struggling with depression once and you cut yourself on purpose to cope and deal with your stress, permanently disqualified, no waiver authorized. I've only heard of maybe 1 or 2 people nationwide that through our recruiting forum online on Facebook that have gotten waivers approved. Every waiver I've ever submitted for self-mutilation has gotten denied, no matter how old it was. It just, for me, it has never gotten approved for any one of my applicants. So if you are a cutter, now I don't mean losing weight, you know what I mean? If you're taking razors and something, or you're just cutting yourself up, the doctors will see that, right? But yeah, they know everything. They look at everything, and they will question you like you're a criminal. They will also check your pulse, your blood pressure, check your heart rate, all that stuff. It is a very, very thorough medical exam. They will even question you about your listed law violations. So if you had any police activity, arrests, ticket citations, or summonses, which will get listed on your medical pre-screen form, at least on the one that we submit, they will ask you about it. So don't get offended. Like, we're doing medical. What the hell does my law violation have anything to do with the medical exam? They're looking to see if you need a psych eval, right? Maybe you got a few screws loose up here, right? So do not get into an argument with your doctor. Just be straightforward, short, sweet, and to the point. You don't need to go into great detail. Just share it with them, and that's it, right? They're not there to judge you. They're just trying to decipher and decide if you need a psych eval. So anytime that a doctor identifies a potential issue, sound confident. Tell the truth, right? Be confident is the biggest key here. And as long as it's a logical explanation, then you'll be in there like swimwear. If the doctor identifies something, whether it's during a medical exam or you disclosed it, regardless, you will get temporarily and or permanently disqualified. And a consultation may be warranted, either paid by Meps through their contracted medical providers, or it will be on your dime, on your time, through your insurance. So they will let you know. So regardless of you signing the HIPAA release form, they do not have access to any of that. The only thing that they'll be gaining access to for a non-prior service individual as of right now is prescription history. They're looking to basically see if you were issued major narcotics, like, you know what I mean, and to see if you are an abuser of said prescriptions. For prior service individuals, starting soon if it hasn't already started, they will have access to all your medical records, period, if you've ever processed at a Veterans Affairs, hospital, and or a Army or military medical facility. They do not have the same access for non-prior service individuals, so they will only know what you share with them. So if you're prior service and you're looking to get out of the service, make sure that, at least for the Army, that your PHA is good and get back in within 6 months. After that, you gotta go through Meps, and you don't wanna jump through hoops and get denied enlistment, because we know how it is when you all leave active duty, right? Or the service. You claim everything. And that leads me into, if you are over 30% in VA disability, you're not going to qualify for the Army National Guard. Reserve might be able to get you in, but you'll be working for retirement points, not for pay, because you're receiving too much through your disability pay. So you'll just be earning points, not pay. And that's if you can get past Meps. So good luck. So if they do identify a potential issue, then you will get either temporarily or permanently disqualified. And they will say outright disqualified, no waivers authorized, or they'll say that you are temporarily or permanently disqualified, but they recommend a waiver. If they recommend a medical waiver, it is up to the proponent of the Army or the branch of service to approve said medical waiver. And then once that's approved, then you can join your branch of service. Sometimes you'll need to go through a consultation. So for example, I have an applicant now who had a knee surgery previously. We disclosed everything, gave him all the documentation. He went and conducted the medical exam, and now we're waiting for a consultation date. When you get the consultation date, your recruiter has no say-so on when they schedule it. It's whenever MEP schedules it, and that's it, right? So just understand that we have no control when they schedule it. We can find out literally the night before. So once that consultation is done with the specialist that pertains to your unique issue, those results are then sent to the CMO, your Chief Medical Officer at Meps, for review. And again, the Meps CMO will say disqualified, no waivers authorized, or disqualified, recommends a medical waiver. If it comes back approved, you're in there like swimwear. If not, try another branch of service. Or they may say you're good to go, no waivers required. You are good to go, and list ASAP, as soon as possible. So if either prior to your medical exam, meaning that if you have like a law violation or a pre-medical condition, pre-existing medical condition, we have to submit medical documents ahead of time to include your law violation paperwork. So that's going to turn your medical pre-screen a complex pre-screen, meaning that we have to submit all this stuff up front for the Meps CMO to review before we get authorization to bring you down for medical. Then you will conduct medical, and again, as previously described, if there's an issue as previously described. So with that being said, once you get through that, right, that's all just part of the medical. That's not even dealing with the test, right? So going into testing, the ASVAB test is a 3-hour test called the Armed Services Vocational Aptitude Battery Test. So if you want to know more about testing, specifically about the ASVAB, I will include a link down below that goes into depth about the ASVAB test, that breaks down the AFQT score, the line scores, what's really, really important, things to not worry or stress about too much, and some other insights along with free resources to help you study to prepare yourself for the ASVAB test. I'll include some other videos and or ASVAB related channels that will help facilitate you in your efforts to study and to prepare yourself for the ASVAB test. So with that being said, if you made it this far into the video, I appreciate you. Hit that like button, smash if that's something you're into, subscribe if you haven't already. I appreciate if you do. Turn on all bell notifications so you get notified every time I post a new video or when I go live on Wednesdays. And with that being said, thank you so much. Be good, stay blessed, and I'll see you in the next video.